Alright guys, welcome back to another hero-villain mashup. I haven't done these in a hot minute, so if there's any new subscribers watching this, what these basically are is that I more or less do a video where I talk about what would it be like if a hero from one universe had to take on another type of villain in another. Basically, it's more like, what would be like if this villain had to fight that hero and vice versa. And today, yeah, I'm going a little tokusatsu on this one, and I'm going to enjoy this one. And this is for the... I don't get to talk about this character a lot. Shame on me. And that character is Ultraman. So, our hero for this one is none other than Ultraman himself. So, and as you can see, he's taking on Lex Luthor. What would it be like if Lex Luthor was an enemy to Ultraman? Which you could make the argument that he already is an enemy to Ultraman because he's been at odds with the Ultraman from Earth 2 in the DC multiverse. You could make the argument that he's already fought Ultraman. But not this Ultraman. He has fought a Ultraman, but not this Ultraman. So you may be thinking right out the gate, this makes no sense. Ultraman would step on Lex Luthor. Like, it's not even a contest. If you thought it was that easy, you'll ask yourself, why hasn't Superman just fried Luthor? Like, just grabbed him and burned his face off, or, like, crushed it or something. Like, just go straight Omni-Man on him. Because that's not how they work. Now, there is the argument that you could make that Ultraman does kill. I mean, he does kill monsters. But the thing is, he's never really taken a lot of human life. I mean, granted, there's a lot of, collateral damage that happens, but that's not his fault. Depending on, your Ultraman, and for those wondering, because there is a lot of Ultraman, which one am I going to be using for this video? The Ultraman we'll be talking about in this particular video will be the original Ultraman. Well, the original first Ultraman. And when I say first, I don't mean Ultra Q, which later became Bemular. It's a whole thing. I cannot begin to get into it. So, yes, we're going with OG Ultraman. So, the one everyone knows. So, what would it be like if Lex Luthor and Ultraman were enemies? So, as I said, I don't think Ultraman, the person he's connected to would willingly want to kill someone, especially someone who realistically existed in the same universe. He would probably have his hands in the Science Patrol. There is no doubt in my mind that Luthor would have his hands in the Science Patrol. He would probably be funding it. He would probably be sending money and equipment and robots and any kind of crazy shit. And at the same time, he would probably be taking data from them about the kaiju they fight and the aliens they fight, as well as, above all else, learning about Ultraman. That's the big thing. So I don't think an open war with Luthor is gonna happen. Like, that's just not gonna happen right out the gate. Like, if you think Ultraman's just gonna be like, boom! Squish. Like, if you think he's just gonna squish Luthor and that'd be the end of that, it's a lot more complicated than that. Like I said, why don't you think Superman hasn't grabbed Luthor and crushed him like a tin can? 'Cause he can't. He has all this power, and he can't stop this one human because he knows the ramifications will be awful. So yeah. And that's the thing about Luthor, is that he is well protected behind industry and politics and everything. He is literally the embodiment of the evil capitalist. He is the embodiment of that, and I have no doubt in my mind that Luthor would be like, it'd be kind of like, it would not be too dissimilar from his war on Superman, just tweak a few things, and it would not be so differentiate from his clashes with Superman, and you just apply that to Ultraman. So, how I think it would pretty much go is that I think Luthor would kind of want the power source of Ultraman, and more or less he would be, like I said, he would probably be funding, or at least having his hands in the Science Patrol. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that that he would have his ear on the ground for anything the Science Patrol has on Ultraman. And I'm more than goddamn sure Luthor would also be, studying the data or watching fights with other monsters and aliens that Ultraman would encounter. He would also probably be along the also have like drones and whatever trying to follow Ultraman and at least study the power that comes from it. He'd also realize, oh, so Ultraman has a limit to his power. He's got a time limit. Fascinating. That's a crippling problem because, yeah, whereas Superman, you needed kryptonite, you needed to have kryptonite or red sun radiation or magic. You know, Luthor can buy that stuff. But here, it's just like, oh, I don't need to blow a lot of money on this. I just need to run the clock out. That's easy. That's a scary thought, is that, you know, once he figures that out, that Ultraman has a time limit to being around, that in lies the thing, is that he would just be he would probably build like robots or control monsters or other just machinations just to kind of like probe all of that. Let's also not forget that he would probably have a political campaign against Ultraman. He's done this to Superman before in the past as well. So what I mean is that Luthor would probably have like a PR campaign like, oh, look at the damage Ultraman has caused. He could have moved it away to some empty space, but instead this alien, this monster from another space, from another planet that we know nothing about, who just says, I'm here to help you, has caused all of this great and terrible damage that I and LexCorp will repair for, free of charge, because I'm nice like that. Yeah, he would have no problem turning, I don't know if the audio just freaked out there for a second, sorry, but yeah, he would have no problem, absolutely no problem, turning public opinion against, Ultraman. Like, he would probably, like, you may be thinking, well, why would he have any problem with Ultraman if he's all the way in Japan? Like, Luthor's only concerned about Superman because he's in Metropolis, and that's his home turf, and he's just giving Luthor, like, small dick energy. Like, that's the problem. But it boils down to it, why would he bother with Ultraman? I think it's it's the same reason of why he's bothered by Superman and, hates Superman, is because he can do all this stuff, and in his mind, it kind of limits, human potentials. Like, why do we have to worry about things when Ultraman can come and save us? And two, it's power he wants. That's above all else. Luthor wants power beyond all things, and Ultraman has power that he would want. Yeah, and it's, again, like, his whole xenophobia against aliens would also, play a massive role into this situation. And again, like, I doubt that Ultraman would kill a human being. Like, Ultraman would kill a human being, because then Ultraman would know, if I do that, I could easily just go to LexCorp. I could fly my ass to LexCorp in under an hour. Like, under an hour I'd be in Metropolis, and then just go splat right on, I could tear down the entire LexCorp tower. But what would that happen? I kill Lex Luthor, and the whole world hates me, and I can't do my goddamn job, and the aliens will come and decimate the planet. So, yeah, that would be a major aspect, is that Ultraman would just have to keep fighting. Like, Ultraman would have to keep fighting no matter what, no matter what Luthor would throw at him. So, yeah. This would be just it's a fantastic matchup when you really think about it, because again, I know someone watching this video is probably like, there's no way this would make sense. Like, Ultraman and Luthor, really? That's the hero-villain mashup we're doing? But no, it makes a lot of sense. Again, like I said earlier, just change a few things of the rivalry between Superman and Luthor, and just take out, and just alter a few things, and you could have you've easily got Ultraman, Lex Luthor as an Ultraman villain. And we don't really see, I mean, there are Ultraman shows where you do see human villains, and some of them are very Luthor-esque, but to have, the original Ultraman, who mainly just fought the aliens and monsters, take on a threat of from a race of beings that he swore he would protect, would just be just a total mindfuck to him and his human counterpart. Not to mention, this is a dude who could, like, Luthor could easily buy out the Science Patrol and make it his own and be like, okay, we're gonna go hunt Ultraman. I know we're all for, like, oh yeah, Ultraman's so cool, but yeah, we could just go out and do, you know, my word is law. I'm your bald god now. Go kill Ultraman. I don't like him. So, yeah. Just, like, the more you think about it, the more, like, it makes so much sense that Luthor could easily work as an Ultraman villain. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of the idea of Ultraman, and, I mean, Lex Luthor being an Ultraman villain? Would you guys like that idea? How do you think it would go down? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.